Having all four chairs turned for me, seeing Reba, John Legend, Niall, and Gwen, it was South Carolina.
Dylan's most recent Instagram post, according to People, showed him performing in South Carolina. In the caption, he shared that he preferred a simple stage on the back of a truck over a grand one. Looking back after his passing, that statement becomes especially emotional. It shows that Dylan loved music not for its glamour, but for the moments of singing, meeting people, and living in the joy it brought him. At 24, Dylan Carter left with so many chapters still unwritten. But perhaps what remains is not only sorrow, it is the memory of a voice that sang from the heart. It is the image of a young man who chose kindness, who chose to give, who chose to use music as a way to heal. And it is also a gentle yet profound reminder. Sometimes the value of a life is not measured by how far someone goes, but by the light they leave along the path they walked. Dylan Carter is no longer on stage, but for his family, friends, fans, and the community who loved him, that voice will continue to resonate in another way. Quieter, more distant, but never gone.
Beyond music and charity work, Dylan also owned Sunny Days RV and Campground and worked in real estate. These details show that he was a dynamic young man who did not confine himself to a single identity. He could stand on stage, take part in community projects, and build his own career. In every role, what people remembered most was still his kindness, charm, and genuine spirit. Dylan Carter's passing also makes people reflect on what lies behind the stage lights. To audiences, a contestant emerging from a television show is often seen through a lens of glamour, talent, opportunity, a promising future. But behind that, they are still ordinary people, with families, memories, pain, unfinished plans, and meetings that never came to be. Dylan had lost his mother, carried that grief into his music, and chose Reba for the comfort she represented. And now, those who admired him must learn how to say goodbye to him. What is truly meaningful is that in the tributes dedicated to Dylan, people do not only speak of his talent, they speak of his kindness, they speak of his smile, they speak of how he made the community feel warmer. An artist may be remembered for grand stages, high notes, or unforgettable television moments, but to be remembered as someone who made the world around them better, that is something far deeper.
For many viewers, Dylan Carter became widely known through his participation in season 24 of The Voice. In his audition, he chose the song I Look to You by Whitney Houston, a piece that demands not only technical skill, but also emotional depth. Dylan joined the team of Reba McEntire and once shared that he saw in Reba a comforting presence, like a mother figure who could offer protection. That detail becomes even more moving, as Dylan's mother, Julie, passed away in October 2022, and that loss had been something he spoke about during his journey on the show. Reba McEntire, who mentored Dylan on The Voice, also expressed her sorrow upon hearing the news. In her tribute, she emphasized that Dylan was a kind and talented young man who brought positive light to the show. For a young artist, being remembered by a legend like Reba is not only recognition of his voice, but also a testament to the character and positive energy he brought to those around him. But Dylan Carter was more than just music. He was also a co-founder of The Local Voice, a charitable organization related to breast cancer. The organization described Dylan as the heart of their work, someone who believed that every voice matters. At 24, many people are still searching for their path, but Dylan chose to live for more than just himself. He sang, he worked, he connected, and he used his presence to make others feel seen and heard.
There are pieces of news that arrive so unexpectedly that they leave people silent for a few seconds. Not because they are loud, not because they are tied to a scandal or any controversy, but because they remind us that life can sometimes be painfully fragile. Dylan Carter, the young singer known to audiences through season 24 of The Voice, has passed away at the age of 24 following a car accident. Such a young age, a journey in music still unfolding, and a voice that once moved many hearts has now fallen silent forever. Dylan Carter was not the most sensational name in the entertainment industry. He did not seek attention through shocking statements, nor did he try to stay in the spotlight through drama. People remember Dylan in a simpler way, a young man with an emotional voice, a warm smile, and a way of using music to connect with the community around him. That is what makes his passing even more heartbreaking. Because to those who met him or heard him sing, Dylan was not just a television contestant, but also a friend, a member of their community. According to information reported by People, the accident occurred on Saturday evening, April 25, in Colleton County, South Carolina. The mayor of Moncks Corner, Thomas Hamilton Jr., later confirmed the sad news and extended condolences to Dylan's family. Notably, Dylan had been scheduled to perform in Moncks Corner on April 27. That detail makes the story even more poignant. Just days before he was set to return to the stage and share his voice with others, fate took an unexpected turn that no one could have prepared for.